Welcome back to Trip Talk Tech. We got a super dope show for y'all today. We get to chop it up with my guy, Comacell Brown Jr., a local art activist, I like to say, cultural artist here in the Annapolis area. He's here this weekend to give a camp for the Social Justice Celebrity Charity Weekend. Man, just happy to have you, man. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you. Hey, man, being a part of this weekend, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me because this is something that me and my partner Kyle from the Chase Your Dreams Initiative and Rodell Wright, we've been planning for almost a year now.
Wow.
And it was hard to plan through COVID because when we started it and it became into inception, it wasn't able to be done because all of the venues that we wanted to rent were not allowing anybody in. So, but with the communication between the city, the county executive, and the health department, they gave us clear dates on when to wait and to look for openings. So, you know, as we started to approach July, we started to see more green grass for us to get, you know, approved to get in here. It made things challenging with booking the celebrities and getting things done, but with God's grace, we here, man. So the overall plot for this weekend is to really keep social justice, unity, and all of that in the forefront for our community. There's a lot of distractions out there. We don't want our injustices to go blind or unlooked. So we're here to keep this on the forefront of everybody's mind. And I'm also here to give back. I can't always give back financially, so the best way that I can give back is to share my time, my experiences, and my accolades to the kids to, one, prep them for their future, give them a little bit of confidence, and for them to see somebody that look just like them, that's been through the same trials and tribulations, and show them how I've overcome them and how I can help motivate them and give them resources to do the same thing.
That's what's up. At Trip Talk Tech, that's what we do. We praise the people that give back, and that's why we actually targeted you, because again, the give back. We seen what you did in Kentucky, being you know, doing the mural for Breonna Taylor, you know, those type of things. And like you said, it's not always about the loot. It ain't always about the money, but giving those resources back to people, that goes back. And it's funny, you said something there as far as the giving back. How does art in itself tie back to your overall purpose in life? Like,
well, it's been something that I've literally been learning through time. It's not something that I found out overnight. I tell my lady all the time that I'm finally starting to understand my purpose. And one of the biggest things that I've been able to witness with my own eyes is almost every community mural or art project there's participants in it that either don't have confidence, never done art, or not interested. So I never force anybody to do anything. I kind of let them sit around and watch. And always at the end, I get kids or even adults that just love the experience. They're like, man, I just have a new sense of community now. So that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about this. I'm able to see people get a new light on art, perspectives, people, you know, especially when it's a group project. Some of these people come in and not ever working with somebody else, especially with somebody of another color.
Collaborate, like
and teaching,
and
it's just like sports, man, because you know, in an arena or a game, you could sit by somebody that's probably never communicated with you, but through the love of sports, y'all find and understand it, and it's the same thing with art. I've been there, and it might not even be the art. You might just be there painting with somebody, y'all might talk about y'all kids together. Y'all might talk about experience, and now you gained a new friend through this project. So that's what I feel like is the biggest outlet for this art piece. And just to take kids to the next level, man. A lot of kids don't believe that art is profitable.
I was just going to hit on that. So like, let's say, and this goes both ways. Let's say a talented kid, right? I can draw, but then my parent says, "You better go and be a lawyer because that's not going to pay bills." Or to that adult who's been artistic like you all of his life, but never felt like it's a lane there. What do you tell those people?
So for the adults, I definitely discourage them from being that way to their children. One of my main premises is telling adults to encourage a child. You know what I'm saying? Give them supplies or give them more materials when they're doing good outside of money. You know, if art is something that you see that them loving, encourage that and feed that skill. And for the adults that are typically skilled and may not have reached that peak, I was one of those people. I didn't really start to get to where I'm at until my 30s.
Wow,
and that came from finding the resources later on in life. So now I'm here to give those resources a lot earlier. And then it's funny, like with the adults, typically they just didn't know that it's more than one way to make money in art. People think it's just all about creating a canvas and selling it. And I have to break it down to them like it's multiple avenues in art. You can be an art teacher, you can do canvases, you can do murals, and just all of the other different options. And then they'll get that light bulb over their head like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. And now you're encouraging them to go in a specific lane of art opposed to just being in it blind. So that's what I feel like with children and kids, you just gotta really plant those seeds and show them what's to be done and what's not to be done. But without that, they won't understand.
So like you said, art is huge, right?
Huge.
Right? I work in technology. Technology is the same way. If somebody says, you want to work in IT, all right, pick something, right? But reading your story, going down your story, can you share a little bit with us how you refined and got into your lane?
So I started out painting clothes in elementary school. I was painting anything with the little scribble bottles.
Okay.
So literally started out doing that. That eventually evolved because I couldn't keep up with the demand. If I had somebody that came to me like, hey, I want 3 of those shirts, I want 30, I got to hand paint all of these. So I kind of sat back and I'm like, that's not where I want to go because I'm going to be spending more time and not making enough money. So then that evolved into me getting a t-shirt machine. And then now I'm able to mass produce. So it's always been about just working smarter, not harder. And even if I'm really good at something, but it's not financially paying the bills or it's not really going towards my goal, I'll put it down. I feel like we have a tendency to put too much stuff on our plate at times, but it was more so a trial and error thing for me. So I just was kind of weaving through all of my talents because I'm not one-dimensional. I can do graphic design, I can draw, I can paint. So I've just been able to find a way to infuse all of those things together and kind of use what strength I need at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to put myself in one box.
Gotcha.
So it's still a process that I'm trying to get through. I want to literally do one thing, but I feel like I'm just so impactful in all of the different forms of art that I gotta keep it going and giving that knowledge to the kids.
That's what's up. Even like, to come back to social justice to kind of tie this whole event in, again, like I was saying, first of all, you got the invite to do the mural, but I mean, I'm sure that was a very honorable thing for you, yourself. How did you feel about getting that call?
It felt good, but it's one of them things that I kind of manifested.
Okay. So talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people, you say manifest, they get scared, but now I'm definitely a person that believes in manifestation.
Yeah, everything
works.
Yeah. Everything I've been doing in the last year is all manifestation, but to that project specifically, after the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, we knew that we wanted to do something with art in a big scale to make an impact and draw that conversation. So we decided to do a basketball court mural of Breonna Taylor with Future History Now, and that project came about, and it was just amazing to see how it started to trickle all over the world, picking up on all of these different news outlets. And I remember talking to my friends and saying like, man, I would love to have Breonna Taylor's family come out here and see this. Like, that's my goal now. And I promise you, like within a few weeks to a month, I got a random message from one of her family members on Instagram. He was like, hey, did y'all have plans on doing something special for the family when we come out? I was like, I didn't know y'all was coming out. When y'all coming? He was like, look, we coming out next month for the March on Washington. We would love to come up and check out the mural. I'm like, say less.
Say less.
I'm gonna reach out to the mayor and all my resources, and we're gonna roll the red carpet out for you. So I was in contact with them leading up until they made that arrival. The mayor reached out to Park and Recs. We was able to get tents, tables. So I pretty much facilitated the whole trip. They got here, I made sure, and I had it all planned out in my mind the day before. I'm like, when I meet Breonna's mom, first and foremost, I'm gonna make sure she likes the artwork, kind of tap into her, see where she's at mentally, saying that we could offer any assistance, mental health wise. But I remember telling her, I was like, one, you gained a new son through this. I was like, I lost my mom through drug addiction and cancer.
Okay.
So, I kind of felt a piece of what she was feeling at the time. Not that my mom was murdered, but I remember it just happened overnight. So, I was like, you gained a new son through this, and I hope you can accept that. She smiled, and I was like, if the chance ever presented itself, I would love to bring the same project and mural to your city, right in your hometown, so you ain't got to take a flight. And I got a call 6 months later from Mr. Kenny, who is Breonna Taylor's boyfriend's father, Kenny Walker Sr. He was like, look, man, we came up with the idea that we want to do this mural. He was like, we've been looking around for different basketball courts. And he started telling me about some of the hurdles that they was going through. And I was used to that doing murals. So I was like, I know all about it. He was like, but once we get this approval, we're gonna fly you and your guys out. He was like, but we ain't really got no big budget. He's like, you know, a lot of people hear about this lawsuit and they think that the family just got money all over the place. He's like, it's nothing like that. So we agreed to a reasonable price that would have pretty much just covered me and my team's travel and food. And that's all we was comfortable with, you know? Yeah. So, you know, and it ended up coming.
You was doing it from the heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Really wasn't about them.
Right. So, it, you know, it all came into fruition, man, and we got the dates to go down. We, you know, had to maneuver some Airbnbs because we was there for a whole week. But the true testament to that project was the elements that we had to battle, because we knew we could get the artwork done, but we had 6 days to get it done. Mm-hmm. The forecast showed 4 of those 6 days being thunderstorms and rain. So.
And how did it turn out?
It turned out, and we got it done 2 hours before the unveiling. So I'm telling you, God is good, man.
So, but again, and it goes back to your manifestation, and I asked that for a reason, because I do want the viewers to understand how that works. Just because I manifested, or just because I'm thinking in my head that I'm gonna do it, don't mean the schedule going to come out and look like how I manifested that out in my mind and how it was going to play out. Yeah. Manifestation is, do it get done?
Yeah.
Yes, 2 hours before, a lot of sweat, a lot of crazy forecasts, whatever. But again, your mindset to stick to what you manifested and what you had to do, what you had to get done, and that's.
And we got like you talk about technology. We got cell phones, right? So I was able to look at the weather app, and we was checking it every 15 minutes, and it was giving us a time frame. So it was at one point where we had like a window of 2 hours. I'm like, yo, we going back to the court. We gonna use this 2 hours. And now look at that. That 2 hours we used after that rainy day got us done 2 hours early. So I'm like, yo, everything that you feel like you need to done. Sometimes we got to go above and beyond to get projects done. But that shows your true commitment and dedication. Mm-hmm. And then when we came to the mural unveiling, the lady that kind of helped, you know, organize everything, she praised us for that. She was like, I honestly didn't think these guys was gonna get this project done. I said, there's no way in hell they gonna get this done. And she was just so amazed by how we battled it all and got it done.
That's what's up. Now, you really had a couple gems in what you were saying, but one thing I picked out early, you look like you came up just like me, right? Not a lot of connection, not a lot of resources, but now that on the other side of this art, you're talking about calling up the mayor, calling up this resource, calling up that resource. Again, art has seemed to open up a lot of resources beyond, again, where money can take you. And from that, I guess I want people to understand that, again, like you're saying, don't just go after the cash, right? And I think that's been your experience, right? It's been way bigger, way more expansive than cash.
And a lot of my resources that came, like the mayor and the county executive, I have to contribute that to Leadership Anne Arundel. So I've been in Leadership Anne Arundel. I've been in for 2 years. I started out as Neighborhood Leadership, which is their free program for people that are really grassroots in the community. You go through 6 months of one class per month and just talking to different people that are graduates and different people who are impactful in the community, and they share their stories and they groom us to be leaders. And at the end of my first year, I was awarded a scholarship to get the flagship program in leadership, which typically costs $3,500. But because I was one of the highest performers in neighborhood leadership, I got the scholarship for free. So last year I was in flagship. I graduated as one of the top class members, and that whole program has just brought a whole new family to me. It's like a sorority almost. And all of us are deep in Anne Arundel County doing positive things in the community. So now it's so easy for me to pick up my phone and call anybody, a plethora of people and they're gonna help out. That's where we've gotten a lot of our volunteers from and people that's been helping us out through our
the program. People have been great, the facility's been great. Man, again, I just thank you, man. Thank you for what you're doing into the neighborhood. 2 quick questions before we get out of here. The first one being, if I'm a kid and I can't make this camp today, how do I get started? How do I get into another camp maybe? with you?
So I'm actually, was going to be my kickoff for some of my classes that I'm going to be kicking off for the fall. So, and I wanted to do the fall because I know a lot of kids don't have spaces to do artwork and after school is over with. So I'm going to offer a platform for kids to learn more art if they don't want to, go outside after school. Just giving them a different outlet to do things at a time when typically, with the little bit of basketball courts that we have around Annapolis, I just want to give them something else to do.
That's what's up. Any website or
definitely, yeah. Check out my website, www.sellspitfire.com. That's my main website, which you can check out my portfolio. I keep all of my news and stories on there, but I will be having a new class link up there for you to be able to go down and pick which classes you would like to take. And that's going to be offered for adults and kids.
Wow. Hey, man. Appreciate you. Before I let you go, though, got to ask all my guests this. Is this a TrippTalk Tech thing? We sneakerheads over at TrippTalk Tech. The community is. Favorite pair of sneakers. Now, I know you created some sneakers and you got your hands in some art on some sneakers, but what's your favorite pair, man?
Deodoras.
The Deodoras. Okay, back in
That's
the day.
That's crazy. I wanted some Deodoras for the all-white party yesterday, but the ones I wanted, I couldn't get in time. But that's like a classic sneaker that I love, man. I could wear them with no socks.
Just clean.
You could dress up in them. I love them in the summertime. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
now,
was
what color though? What's the flavor on them?
Well, Deodoras is so dope because they come in so many dope organic colors though. You might get some like forest green, some orange, so that's why I like the Deodora brand, man. That's one of my favorites.
My man. Yep. Hey, look, man. Again, keep doing what you're doing. Wish you much success with your new classes coming up. We definitely gonna push it and promote it. I thank you, brother, for all the work you're doing in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Man.
And one thing I want to say to you is, and I say this to a lot of people with this platform, keep doing this, bro. This takes kids and adults to the next level. Like you said, give people their flowers while they're here. Definitely. That's my fuel, man. Getting people, not that I'm looking for, but that when people acknowledge that, that's like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. That's
like I'm in the right path.
Right.
And once, like you said, once I know my purpose, I'm just doing it. Right. I don't really care about if you saying great job, but when somebody says it, know. All right, you start walking a little straighter. I'm in my lane. I'm in my lane. I
find myself erasing a lot of Facebook posts now that I might be angry one day or wake up and I want to get something off my mind. And I swear, I think all the time, all of these people I done met so far now, it could be one person that see that and that just turn them off about me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never let my emotions get the best of me. And I feel like as adults, that's one thing I see a lot of that we need to chill out on. Like, we get upset, we human, but you can't take that frustration to the world all the time on it. Because
it's human
because you be surprised how people look at you differently from just one comment that you make. It could be about sports. You talk about their favorite player, now they don't like you no more. You know what I mean? So not saying that you gotta muffle everything, but just be mindful of what you saying and where you say it at.
Take that 5-second break, think about it before you react.
And it ain't nothing wrong with putting a status up and then erasing it, like just to get get it off your chest. Like, everything I wanted to say, all right, I'm good now. So, but that's my advice to everybody, and I appreciate you again,
man. My man, Comacell Brown, man. Check him out.